Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for each life path number for the month of March 2025. Before we get into the forecast, this is a general forecast. If you would like your own personal numerology, in where we'll take a look at the numbers of your charts, your forecast, all of the good things, then please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below, and I would love to work with you. All right, let's take a look at what March has in store. Life Path 22-4. So we're going to be working with the vibration of the 34-7 for March. This is an interesting energy because the 7 sort of slows things down. It brings things back home. It brings back things, when I say home, I mean back to ourselves, right? This is an opportunity or a month for greater self-reflection, greater discovery when it comes to ourselves in some way. So it's more of a receptive type of energy, and it can feel a little bit softer, a little bit more like an opportunity to rest and catch our breath and just evaluate the direction we're moving in, making sure that it's what we want and if there's any adjustments that need to be made, etc. Also, with this 7 energy, it's sort of about, we've put in the effort, we've weaved the web in some area of our life, and so we're kind of sitting back and seeing what comes our way, like what the universe sends us or what life presents. And then from receiving whatever that is, we get to decide the next steps and what we want to do next and what we want to do with it, right? So there will definitely be some decisions to be made this month. There may be some rerouting. There might be some change in direction that looks very different than what we had expected. But the key is to not force anything this month. Anytime we move through a 7 cycle, you don't want to force things. And sometimes that can be a little bit difficult for 4s, right? Which we are 4s, 22-4. Because 4 energy is very solution focused. So it sees the solution, it sees what it wants, and it's going to build towards that. It's going to go towards that. In the direction that, on the path that it thinks is right to get there. And the 7 energy is about really kind of, again, slowing down and seeing what the options are and then deciding what to do with the options. And it's not about trying to control the outcome, because it's in that controlling that we actually restrict the energy and we don't get out of the experience as much as we could have gotten out of the experience. So the 7 is a really beautiful reminder to the 4 to pay attention, right? And to not try to control it, because we don't always know what's best, even though we think we do. But it's also interesting because we have 4 in the equation, right? 34-7. And so we have our own energy in this mix. So there's definitely something here about, again, slowing down, because that's usually what we need to do as 4s, not be overly impulsive, make sure that we're paying attention to the details, but also making sure that we're coming back to ourselves and we're not sacrificing ourselves or overriding our needs in order to accomplish whatever this may be. So it's really a beautiful month for kind of getting rid of or releasing, whatever it is that we're striving for or trying to make happen. Because that's where we're going to see the most frustration, is wherever it is that we're keep pushing the gas and we're just sitting idling. You know what I'm saying? So this is a great month to just sort of step back a little bit, be the observer, and just see what presents. And then take action, then decide how to move forward, because that's where you're going to be the most powerful. And that's where you're going to sort of alleviate that frustration. Where things are flowing this month, put your energy there. Go full speed ahead there. But where things are stopped up or just not moving or you're getting frustrated, set it down. You're not gonna see the satisfaction you're looking for this month if you have to force it. And life is gonna remind you of that this month. So you'll just get more and more frustrated. And for a 4 and 22-4, frustration is the Achilles heel. So you don't want to get stuck in that frustration. You want to shift your focus onto what is working, because that's going to give you the greatest results. And the 7 reminds us of that. And it sort of pushes us into the more feminine side of ourselves, of receptivity and not striving so much. Now with this 34 energy, it's interesting because, again, where the 7 is much more like laid back and sort of more about discovery and sort of going deeper and breaking through from the illusion and, really kind of getting to the core of something. And it's more of a slower pace. It's not in a rush to do that because it wants to make sure that it gets all the information and gets to the truth of whatever the situation is. But the 34 does bring in, especially with that 3 energy, a little bit more like faster paced movement. So there's a little bit of sort of all the elements here. So pursuits that you have been working on, you could see those come to completion now. And you could see that there's some rewards there. Because with the 3 energy, it does bring in rewards, recognition, the green light, right? Getting those accolades. People see our talents and want more of that, want to be a part of that, want to, they see us for whatever it is that we have to offer, right? So you could see that you get an uptick in clients this month, you get recognition this month, you get sort of rewarded for your efforts, right? For what it is that you're putting out into the world. And that can feel good. So, definitely embrace that if that comes in for you. But the rewards, also because of that 4 energy and the 34/7, are going to be in direct proportion to the efforts you've put forth. So those rewards that likely will come in this month for you, just know that you've put in the work to receive those. It's not like they're just falling out of the air and, they're not warranted. You built this, you created this, you put in the effort. So the rewards that you receive this month are very well deserved. So take time to celebrate that. This can be a really active period. This can be a period where sort of you get your hope back. You see that you get kind of the wind back in your sails. And again, remember, because that 7 energy, that's sort of the dominant energy, this is about moving in the path of least resistance, right? Because that's where everything's working. So put your energy there. And when you do that, you will likely see things pick up, and it can bring in that greater sense of hope. So much magic can happen in a 7 cycle, like things that you can't even dream about can present in a 7 cycle. And that's what I mean when I say, like, if you're trying to control something, you're also controlling what's possible. And a lot of times with the ego, we can't really fully see what's possible. Our soul knows what's possible, but the ego constricts that. So when we release control and surrender, truly, we open up the energy to allow for the things that we never could have dreamt of to not only present, but for us to be open to them, right? Because if we're trying to control the situation, then our biggest dreams can present, but we're not seeing it because we're too focused on what we're trying to control. You see what I'm saying? So all these energies are saying, be open to what presents and don't try to control the situation too much. Control what you can control, but don't try to control what you can't. So this can definitely reignite hope and optimism. This can definitely see you advancing more rapidly towards your goals. Again, with opportunities that you likely never would have thought of, or, the ability to work with people that you never thought were possible to work with. So much can come in at this time. You could receive communications at this time, unexpectedly or expectedly, that really propel you forward in some way. You could receive some kind of assistance this month that really helps out. Also, romance is in the cards. We're working with that 7 energy. So, this is a beautiful, and that 3 energy. So it's about the finer things in life and doing what we enjoy. And so romance is really, highlighted at this time. And that 7 energy brings in contracts. So like soul contracts. So you could meet someone who, is a soul connection and brings that excitement and that fun into your life and that romance into your life. I would say be careful about legal difficulties at this time, delays, business and love relationships together. Like if you are in a relationship or in a business relationship with your partner, there could be some things that kind of stagnate at this time. And you just want to be careful about not having the conversations. Like have the conversations, right? Like don't just move quickly to sort of the arguments or the fighting. Really have the conversations. And that's what's going to be rewarded at this time. Because again, you're working with that 3 energy, or we're working with that 3 energy. So the conversations are going to be critical. This is definitely a period, though, where you could see the wheels set in motion in some area of your life. Again, if you're not trying to control it too much, you could really see things start to move at this time, and some incredible progress being made. So beautiful energy. But it's going to take work. It's going to take work. More like mental strength, right? And emotional strength. Now, I pulled an animal wisdom message for us, and we got turtle energy. And it's interesting because turtle energy, I just think about like home and slowing down and really, and bringing it back to self, right? Like the turtle lives in its house that it carries with it. So with this 7 energy, there's so much about that, like coming back to self and taking time to replenish and self-soothe where you might need to do that, and trusting yourself in the decisions that you're making this month, and trusting others in the universe as well. But really, it's about coming back to self in a big way, and not to be too overly impulsive at this time. Take your time with whatever it is that you're embarking on. And you'll see the greatest rewards here. So beautiful energy. I hope it's a great month. Take care, 22s. Bye for now.